the last conference, so it's great pleasure to reach this moment in many ways. So again, I want to thank you for all of you for staying back and being there for the closing. Just wanted to thank a special guest here, Ravi, who's there. Ravi has been part of this conference for many years, so good to have him back, at least for the closing. Uh, for many years, I think this was primarily a grassroots movement where we try to go from university to university and try to create a culture by helping, teachers and stuff like that to imbibe this. Of course, we did a lot of work with, industry as well. But the idea was to create it as a grassroots movement. 20, 2010, I think Sandeep had talked about this in his talk. 2010, we called it Post-Agile Conference, and that was supposed to be the last Agile India conference. And 2011, we actually never, 2011, we didn't do a conference. That's why this is kind of the 20th year rather than the 21st year. And that year we had not done because we said it's over, we want to get done with it. However, we had Agile Alliance that came along and they said, we really want you to continue this event. Can you do it one last year? And then from the subsequent year, we will take it over. Unfortunately, that didn't work very well. And we ended up then running the conference to show how to run the conference, and we kind of made a switch from more like doing it at universities to ending up to doing it at like hotels and stuff like that, and have a little bit more appeal to the people in the suits, I guess. And I think that's in hindsight been a very interesting journey personally, because we've been able to get a lot of senior folks to come in and appreciate and understand. Because often out there's a lot of fluff that people sell, and this conference had always tried to, kind of give people a bit of reality check, I would say. We've had very controversial topics. I remember 2014, Dave Thomas, who was one of the Agile Manifesto signatory, he said, "Are you sure do you really want me to speak at the conference?" Dave never, after signing the manifesto, never spoke at any Agile event. This was the only exception, and he's not spoken at any since as well. And he went on stage and he put image of one popular framework, and he said, "This is exactly what we were trying to avoid," right? And we lost that sponsor since. But that's perfectly fine, because this conference has always aimed to be something that is open to everyone. Like, we don't want to say that this is a Scrum conference or XYZ conference. We've been open to everybody, but we've also highly opinionated in terms of what we think is good for the industry and good for people. And we've tried our best, in my opinion, to keep that neutrality, but also kind of invite a lot of people to really talk controversial topics, talk about things that generally people don't talk. And we've kind of, I think even this year, there were quite a few talks where we try to, really challenge the status quo. And that's what I think people want to hear, right? They don't want to hear the sugar-coated stuff that everything is great. There's a lot of stuff that's not great, and it's good to be aware and probably try and find solutions for those things, right? But I mean, a lot of people have been asking, why is this the last event, right? And I actually don't think we have much to contribute. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in other areas that we should venture out. All good things come to an end, and this should come to an end so we can move on and do other interesting things. So we do run a lot of other community events, and we'll continue to do this. But I think this theme per se, I kind of lost its charm, in my opinion, and so we'll wrap it before it gets too ugly, I guess. And also, it's quite evident from the numbers, right? So, like I was showing the graph, we used to do 1,500, 1,600 people a year, like at the conference, and that's kind of come down now to like 200, right? So it's quite evident that the interest is not there, and so not much point and kind of continuing that. But I was actually very happy with this. Like again, we've always been of the opinion that quality over quantity, right? Like no point filling the halls. We could have easily given away free tickets to people and filled the halls, right? But then you dilute the kind of conversations you're going to have with people, the experience you're going to have at the conference. So I was actually very happy with the quality of discussions that were happening, the interactions that people were having at the conference. It felt kind of that original vibe that people were very curious, very eager to learn, open to new ideas. So that's what is kind of keeps this conference, or at least kept this conference going all this while, is the curiosity people had, the willingness to learn and kind of challenge and explore the what is the state of possible. But I guess we will move on to new frontiers and take it from there. So again, just closing it. Thanks again, everyone, and thanks to the sponsors who did believe in us and continued to support the conference for the last year. Uh, Hopefully, we'll see you at some other event at future. Uh, I do want to thank all the folks who've been working tirelessly late in the night. We had like the setup done till 3 in the morning, and then next morning they were here at 7:30. So a lot of effort goes on behind scenes to put these events together to make sure things run smoothly. We try our best. There'll always be some hiccups, but we all survive, right? So that's great. So again, thanks everyone, and see you some point.